Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm going to show you how this Pulsometer watch by Merkur looks like on way too many different straps. This video is sponsored by AliExpress. AliExpress gave me a budget which I was free to spend on whatever I want for my videos, and this watch is one of those things that I bought. Thank you AliExpress. Technical specifications and measurements which I have done myself as always. This watch, naked like this, weighs 54 grams. Diameter of the case is 38.5 millimeters. Lug to lug distance 47.5. Lug width is 20. Thickness 11.9 millimeters. Water resistance rating depends where you look. On AliExpress it says 50 meters, on Merkur website it says 30 meters. This watch has slightly domed sapphire crystal, and inside it has NH38A movement. That's how this watch looks like on my 16.5 centimeter or 6.5 inches wrist. And I would say, as for a dress watch, it does appear to be a little bit large for my small wrist, but it all depends on your personal preferences, how large you like your watches and how large is your wrist. Physically speaking, I don't feel any discomfort. This watch does not feel too large on my wrist. Lug to lug distance is 47.5, and as you can see I still have a little bit of space on each side of my wrist, so it sits within the frame of my wrist fairly well, and lugs are facing down a little bit, effectively hugging my wrist, so physically I don't feel any discomfort, so that's good. Now the original strap, this is suede leather strap. It's actually very nice, very good strap, feels very comfortable. I like these suede leather straps in general, they are very nice. One thing I don't like about this particular strap is actually the buckle. It's beautiful, it fits the style of this watch very nicely, but the problem is that whenever I put my wrist on the table, especially next to the keyboard, I put this metal bit on the wooden table and it just feels very unpleasant. I don't like that, but that's not a big deal because changing a buckle is not a big problem. This strap tapers down to 16 millimeters, so if you would decide to change it, you would need 16 millimeter buckle. Let me show you how it looks like. It's actually looks rather nice, looks rather fancy, I must say. Interesting design. Merkur watch group engraving, no sharp edges. It feels nice to touch. It's just a little bit annoying kind of design for me personally. The strap itself feels wonderful. It's actually a very good strap, and it's flexible straight out of the box. I didn't need to massage it out. It feels great on the wrist. Let me show you all the engravings and everything, how it looks like. It's a well built, seemingly good quality strap with this Merkur engraving, quick release. Yeah, the strap is great. I would just change the buckle. Case design on this watch has those multiple layers, like some sandwich design, I like saying. I like that. It breaks down the thickness visually. Does it do that effectively on this watch? Well, I'm not sure about that, because the thickness of this watch, 11.9 millimeters, it's basically in the territory of diving style watches, I would say. And as for a dress watch, that's really pushing the limits, especially noticeable on my small wrist. I'm not sure how that would look like on a bigger wrist. Probably would look okay, I can't really tell you, but on my small wrist this watch does look a little bit chunky, even despite the fact that it has this sandwich design, which should effectively make it visually slimmer than it actually is. Either way, I think it looks nice. I like this kind of sandwich design, especially when the middle portion has this vertical brushing, sandwiched with shiny bezel and shiny bottom case back. That looks good. That looks good. I like that. Lugs themselves maybe a little bit chunky as well. I kind of wish they were a little bit slimmer, but it's just down to personal preferences. On the crown we have Merkur logo engraving, even though on the dial we have Pierre Paulin name. I don't know what's up with that, but It's the brand name that belongs to the Merkur group, I believe. That's why. Anyway, that's how it looks like all around. Case back, interesting design as well. This little edge is a little bit sharp. Bottom edge of the case a little bit sharpish, but no, nothing too crazy. Edges on the lugs are not sharp, they are a little bit rounded off, as you can see. That's very nice. Lug ends are fine, they are not sharp. In general, design is nice, execution is nice. It's just, you know, in general it's a little bit chunky, thick watch as for a dress watch, but maybe on a bigger wrist that would look okay. The dial on this watch is the reason why I bought this watch, because to my eyes this is a very beautiful dial. At a first glance it looks a little bit clean, sterile, you know, a little bit clinical, but on a dress watch that's a good thing. And this is one of those dials that more you look at this dial, the more interesting it becomes and the more details you see. And it looks just beautiful. I like all of the proportions and all the little details. And there is one interesting thing about this dial, is because this is a pulsometer watch, which means you can count pulse with this watch. Let me show you real quick and explain everything. So you just wait till seconds hand passes through 12 and start counting pulsations, you know, just count pulses, okay? And as it says on the top of the dial, base 30 pulsations, you count to 30. You count to 30, and at the point once you count to 30, you look where is the seconds hand. And for example, let's say the seconds hand is in this position. Let me show you. So you look at the outer ring on the dial, and for example you counted to 30 and the seconds hand was at 49, right? Well, at 48, okay, which means that the pulse rate is 49. But you know, it's just a decoration, and you all already know what that actually means. I'm just explaining this without a reason. Anyway, it's just a nice decoration on a watch, and many of you will not be able to see those tiny numbers. I'm pretty sure about that. They are very tiny, but it's interesting because it's a point of attention on this dial, which is actually very beautifully done. And something like this on a watch dial, especially with those tiny markers between minutes and those tiny beautiful numbers, it creates a sense of precision. But looking at the dial, there is one thing which I don't necessarily like. Let me explain you by showing you another watch. This watch basically has the same kind of handset, also very slim, super elegant looking hands. And on this small watch with dark dial, those hands stand out rather nicely in front of the light, and they look very pretty on this watch. And for comparison, this chronograph is quite a bit smaller watch, and as you see, the dial is dark in color, so those hands look completely differently on this watch, even though they are basically the same. And on this watch, you know, I like looking from top down view. I like that they are narrow hands, they look very elegant, they fit the design and everything. It's all good, it's all good. The problem is that they are very thin. They are pressed out of the thinnest possible sheet of metal. And on a watch like this that has a little bit of thickness, it's a little bit bigger, and especially when the dial is bright, they lack a little bit of presence, you know. I wish they were a little bit more three-dimensional. I wish they were a little bit thicker. I wish they were pressed out of a thicker piece of metal. And let me show you a perfect example. What do I mean? I don't necessarily mean this particular design, even though I believe it would look great on that watch. But what do I mean is the thickness of the handset themselves. I wish they were a little bit more three-dimensional. Like, look at these ones, how light falls on and off of these hands. This handset on this watch is the perfect handset for a dress watch with this kind of bright colored dial with this sterile design, you know. These are just probably my favorite. As for a dress watch, this handset is probably my favorite, but I don't necessarily mean this exact design. What I mean is the thickness and a little bit of roundness, creating a little bit of three-dimensionality. When the watch is a little bit large and has a bright dial, I wish those hands would be a little bit thicker and like rounded, like some kind of cylinders, you know. That would look great. That would look great on this watch. But you know, it's not terrible. It's just the thing is that these hands on this watch look a little bit cheapish, you know. It's not terrible. They fit the design. They look elegant and all, but I wish they were a little bit more three-dimensional. Let's do a little bit of a quality control. So this is a push-pull crown. It's a big crown, doesn't feel sharp. Setting time on this watch feels very precise. Its slow ratio feels great. And as you see, it's a hackable movement. And the second hand stops. So let's see the alignment of hands. Let's set on exactly 6. Alignment is as straight as it can be. Alignment is perfect. And there is nothing else to check really. There are no dust particles, no imperfections. Quality is great. The watch is fully wound. Let's check the accuracy. Plus 5 seconds face up. Now let's flip it over. Plus 5 seconds again. Now in a crown facing down position. Minus 3 seconds. Well, deviation is not large. Accuracy is actually very good on this watch. This is gray sailcloth styled nylon strap, and I think it does look a little bit better than on a suede leather strap. Hold on a second, let me show you side by side. So this is the suede leather strap. That's how it looks like. It looks wonderful, and on this one it looks wonderful as well. I just wanted to include it because, well, it's really nice. It's really nice. It looks really good on this watch. Take a good look. Take a good look. Man, such a beautiful watch this one is. Strange thing about dress watches is that they tend to look really good on nylon straps, especially on this one. This is a shiny nylon strap which feels smooth as silk. It's a very nice feeling cheap nylon strap, and with this nylon strap on this watch it has like more character, a little bit more visual interest going on all around. It's nice. I like it, and it's very comfortable, by the way. Yeah, looking really good, looking good. This one is a little bit sporty with those holes and stitching, but it still has a little bit of a vintage character, I must say, and this kind of color combination on this watch, I find it visually pleasing, you know. It looks good. It looks pretty good. Looks lovely, you know. That's how it looks like. This is the coolest leather strap that I have. This is desaturated brown leather strap, which has this very cool aging effect. And on this watch it definitely adds quite a bit of character to the overall look, and I really like what I see right now. It looks good. It looks good. Yep, this watch looks good on everything. Shiny blue nylon strap. It does look very good, as on a nylon straps like this one, the whole package, you know, the whole combination has more visual interest, because there are things going on, here things are going on, so overall there are more visual things on the wrist, and probably that's why this watch looks so good on nylon strap. I don't know, but I like it. I like it. It looks really good on this nylon strap, or basically any other strap overall. This is wool wave leather strap, one of my favorites, super comfortable, and it has this vintage, very strong vintage aesthetics of old money style, and I think this watch on this strap looks like a €1,000 watch easily. Like you see this watch in a wild on strap like this, and it's like, oh boy, this thing must be not cheap. It looks really good, you know, vintage aesthetic watch on this old money kind of style strap, this pulsometer watch. I don't know, I think this is just a perfect combination. I tried this watch on a shiny black leather strap and I didn't like it because it looked a little bit too clinical, but on this Crazy Horse matte finish black leather strap it looks just great. Somehow it looks way better than on a shiny leather strap for some reason. I don't know why, but on this one it looks clean, it looks nice, and it doesn't look boring somehow. Looks good. And I included white strap because this is how my mom would wear this watch. That's my mom's style, basically. This kind of looking watch on a white strap. It looks clean. It looks really good, you know. Looks somewhat elegant, even, I would say. Nice. Does it look bad on a red nylon strap? No, it doesn't. I think it looks actually pretty good. It actually looks good. I think it looks good. Strange, you know, this watch is insane. You can put anything you want and it still looks very good. Chainmail bracelet is rather similar to Milanese, I would say, but I like it better. I think this looks better. It looks great. It actually looks wonderful. I think looks really nice on this watch. The problem with these bracelets is that they are very difficult to resize, but worth it. I mean, look how good it looks like. What are the conclusions? Well, this watch is a literal strap monster. The definition, the very definition of a strap monster. This watch is insane. You can put whatever you want on this watch. Anyway, nice watch. Very nice watch. Just a few problems, a little bit chunky, but maybe I ain't gonna look that bad on a bigger wrist. Handset, either classy, elegant, fitting for the design, but do look a little bit cheapish because very thin. Other than that, do I have something to complain about? No, not really. I actually like it quite a bit. This is very beautiful watch. I like the style. It has the sense of precision. It has the character. It has interesting things like this, you know, pulsometer thing. It looks really good. Even the original strap is very good quality. Just I don't like the buckle, but whatever. The strap is wonderful actually. And I just want to give you one more shot. And you know what? Not just one more shot. Let's give you a lot more shots. You know what? I haven't played with the lights. You know what? Let's do this. Let's hold on a second. Bear with me. Let me turn off some lights. Let's see how this watch looks like in a little bit more contrasty situation. Like, oh boy, this thing is nice. How is this sapphire crystal? It's slightly domed. Is the anti-reflective coating on this watch good? I don't know if it has any, to be honest with you, but on such a bright dial it's not much of a problem really in real life. It does look better in real life than on a video dealing with reflections. So even less light, even more contrast to look. Eye candy, you know, this watch is eye candy. Let's turn off this orange light. Let's give it a little bit more of a blue light. Maybe, you know what, let's turn this light a little bit around. Let's turn on the orange light and let's point it directly into the watch. Let's create this dreamy look. How does it play out in the front of such light? Not too well, to be honest. It doesn't create this dreamy look where the sapphire crystal would be just glowing. I see it doesn't happen with this watch. No, it doesn't really do that. Anyway, back to the normal lights. This thing is nice. This thing is really nice. Yeah, that's it. That's the final conclusions. Very beautiful watch, but be aware, you probably need to have either a bigger wrist or need to like a little bit bigger watches. That's it. Very nice watch though. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.